BMRforum.com and BMRodds.com. What is going on, boys? What is going on? Welcome back to episode number 82 of The Lobby. As always, each and every week, Mr. Donnie Rightside. What's up, Donnie?
Seems like we're ready for the NBA last night. Doubleheader, more games tonight. And also you take a look at hockey in full swing, the NFL in full swing, college basketball coming up soon here, and college football already in full swing, ready to rock. I love this time of year. It's October. But by the way, like me and Sammy on the East Coast, man, if we could just have every day like it's San Diego outside like it was today for me in South Jersey, I would take that and I would love it.
Yes, it's beautiful out here in Vegas. It's about 80, 85 degrees. It's great.
Nice.
It is simply great. And then moving on to the man who looks like he just rolled out of bed or smoked a fat bowl, one of the two. Mr. Sam's in charge. What's up, Sammy?
Yeah, definitely had a bowl or two this afternoon. Enjoyed the day off. Got a lot of yard work done, and it was a windy day, but it was a beautiful day.
Wow.
So, it's one of those where I did 10 bags of lawn work, and it looks like I did nothing because the wind kept blowing the trees down. 10 bags took an hour and a half. So that wasn't even like a long time. That's just how many pine needles and leaves I have. But, love the East Coast weather right now. It's beautiful.
Well, what's the same point when it's winter out? There's no point in you shoveling the sidewalk. There's no point in you raking the leaves if they're it's just like making the bed. Just like making the bed right here behind you. There's no point in making the bed if I'm just going to lay in it again. Same way with the leaves. I'm not going to go out and rake leaves.
Yeah.
If it's just going to get messed up again, I'll wait a month and do it all at once, and then I'm done.
Oh, okay. I guess that's the concept that you're talking about. What about the bed concept?
Even the bed concept. I'm just going to lay in the bed again, mess it up. Why make it?
Yeah.
Right, Ange?
It's true.
The bed. Why make the bed?
Donnie, do you make your bed
again?
My wife makes the bed. I was never a bed maker, put it that way. Single, I never made
I don't make
no shot.
There's no point. You're going to lay in it again anyway. So.
Well,
I make my bed.
All the sporadic sets we have, why make it?
Look at that.
That's very true. That's very true. But moving right along, Pipe. Too bad you can't join us this week. Hopefully everything is all right. And hopefully you will be back next week. It was a great addition to have Pipe back on last week's show. But Donnie, let's jump right into the World Series. Dodgers and the Yankees, battle of the West Coast versus the East Coast. Dodgers are a little small favorite, depending on where you shop at, -120 to -125. Whereas the Yankees, you'll get a little bit of a favorite price on them, +105 to 110, depending on where you shop at. Donnie, first thoughts on this series. What do you like?
I think the Dodgers are slightly better, which is why, again, it's really a coin flip price, which is awesome. I'm obviously not a Yankees fan or a Dodgers fan, but I think baseball fans as a whole really win here. If you're a prop better, you got superstars up and down that lineup. You got two lineups that we're not going to see 6.5 and 6, run line games here at this winter totals, I should say. These games are going to be credited 7.5, 8.5, and 9.5, maybe on some of those bullpens. I love this World Series, but if I'm looking for a side, the Yankees, very good team. The Dodgers, very good team. Slight nod, home field advantage for the Dodgers. I'll take them around that -120 to -125 price.
Do you bet any? Are you betting any full series, Donnie?
No, I don't bet full series. I bet game to game, whether it's best RBI chances at that point. I'm not a series guy. I was never a big futures guy. Like, hey, before the NBA starts or before baseball starts, let me throw $100 down. Let's just say the Philadelphia Phillies. I don't do that. I am a day-to-day handicapper in Major League Baseball. I'll do the same thing here, Bobby, in the World Series.
All righty, awesome. Sammy, there's really no point in me jumping over to you for your thoughts on it because we all know you're going to be all over the Yankees, but let's hear it.
Yeah, I mean, they haven't been in a World Series since I was in college back in 2009. It was a different time, different atmosphere. Instead of watching it with the boys,
different Yankees squad as well.
Sitting it by myself or watching it with one or two friends and stuff like that. But yeah, obviously it's everyone's dream scenario matchup, East Coast, West Coast. You have the AL MVP versus the National League MVP. The stars are shining. You have Cy Young winners out there on the mound too. So, from a rating standpoint, it's MLB's dream. So hopefully the stars come out, the home runs are booming, and the Yankees come out on top.
Awesome. Thank you, guys. Donnie, let's jump into a little NBA. We have daily NBA tonight. We could jump into in a second, but I just want to touch on, I know you mentioned a second ago, you don't really deal with futures, but, I don't think it's as prevalent nowadays, but I remember back in the day, Vegas and offshore would come out with lines for totals, season win totals, and you'd be able to find some good, 2, 3, 4 game differences between both of them. Or do you do any of that? Do you look at comparing, especially with back in Jersey, you got those legal books too. You do any comparing and contrasting?
If sometimes you have to understand, I say this a lot, like I've been around the gambling block for a long time. Understand what your strengths are and your weaknesses are. I am not very good at taking futures. Now, sometimes you say take a future midway through the season, end of the season, buy low, chance to sell high. I get that. But when we're starting a season, hey, Donnie, how about a win total on the Philadelphia Eagles or the New England Patriots or the Detroit Lions? I am so bad at that point here because I don't analyze enough in order to make a comprehensive decision other than, yeah, that team looks good. And let me look at the schedule. Oh, it looks like it's going to be an easy one. I just don't do that. So for me, I don't even shop. I don't look. I don't bet. I know what my restraints are. And certainly futures, it ain't one of my positives.
All right. Well, my point behind that was looking for a disparaging number between book A, maybe a legal book in Jersey, book B, an offshore book. Mm-hmm. Maybe find that middle ground. If you one's throwing you, let's say an 86, another's throwing you an 82, try to, middle both.
No, it's the strategy is correct at that point. So I agree with you. And by the way, let me know if there is a 6-game discrepancy in Major League Baseball, the NHL, the NBA. Bobby, don't tell anybody. Just tell me, man. That's it. We'll go ahead with that.
All righty. Sammy, what's your thoughts? I mean, I know you're a big Knick fan over there. Sorry about last night's devastation, but what's your opinion for the Knicks for the season? And then let's jump into tonight. What do you got on the hardwood?
Yeah, in reference to the season.
And not your hardwood.
Yeah, I mean, in reference to the season, I love their starting lineup, and they shot pretty well yesterday. I mean, listen, they got beat by a Celtics team that set a team record 29 3-pointers. So from an offensive standpoint, Boston was on fire, but on a negative side, Knicks got to step up and maybe guard the 3-point line and what's going on defensively. But from an offensive standpoint, they shot 55% as a team. So they just got to do better defensively, but I have high expectations for them, especially off last year, especially being so injured in the playoffs. So definitely hope that they don't get injured and they can make another run. That would be exciting. Especially following the Yankees this year.
Awesome. Thank you. Donnie, what do you got on the hardwood for us tonight?
Yeah, by the way, for Sammy yesterday, if you just said, let's remove the equation of watching the game, and I said, hey, by the way, Nick's going to shoot 55%, and which includes 37% from three-point range, you'd go, not only did they cover, they won that basketball game, but you're not going to beat anybody if the other team is making close to 50% of their three-point shots when shooting 60 of them. That's unheard of. Just to put that in context, the Lakers won a game late night making 5 3-point shots. The NBA is a wild swing from game to game. So for me tonight, 3 games to take a look at. Bucks Sixers, which would have been so much fun here in Philadelphia to open up the season. Joel Embiid, Paul George, Tyrese Maxey. Oh, yeah, it's just Tyrese Maxey tonight. So the Sixers, who the look-ahead line were favorites of 4.5 points. Now they're getting 4 points at most outlets here on their home court in the total of 222.5, which is now did a video this morning for Bookmakers Review. I really like the under in this game. It was 223.5 this morning, now down to 222.5. Obviously, if I liked it at 223, a 1-point difference, I still like the under there, and I'll take that. The Phoenix Suns and the Clippers entering this game with basically just James Harden against a stacked lineup for Phoenix. Might be a little bit of a public play, but I'll lay the 4.5 to 5 points on the Phoenix Suns on the road. And then the Golden State Warriors and the Portland Trailblazers. Big night tonight. Steph Curry takes the court once again. His 3-point prop is 4.5 at a -105. I'll take the over. He makes 5 3-point shots or more. I'm enjoying the NBA start here. I love the day-to-day process of betting the NBA, guys.
Awesome. Thank you, Donnie. And since you touched on it for a second, let's jump into some Joel Embiid talk. Guys like Garnett, Shaq, Barkley, they are ripping Joel Embiid right now for his, lack of conditioning. And then just it seems like the guy, he's getting paid for 82 games. You got to play 82 games.
I mean, the best part about it, too, is like the Sixers just re-upped them. And the Sixers probably knew ahead of time, which is right. Like, hey, you know what? We're going to have to be cautious, which the biggest losers in this is not the coaches, it's not the organization, and it's not the players. They're all going to get paid and get paid a ton of money. It's the fans. Like, if you are a Sixers fan and you're living, let's just say, in Denver or Arizona or out in Los Angeles, hey, the Sixers come out here once a year, let me buy it. And it's like, well, I have a 35% chance that I'm going to watch the Sixers play basketball, not the G League Bluecoats out of Delaware, which is the Sixers G League affiliate at this point. And that's what you get upset with. It used to be back in the day, hey, 82 games, every night I turn on, unless you're injured where it's like I'm out 2 to 3 weeks, I'm going to watch my favorite players play basketball on a night-to-night basis. And I know NBA handicappers that do very well. But even then, it gets to the point, how tedious is it? Like, you want to bet that line. You want to jump that opening line, and then you go, well, I just took the Lakers -6.5. And by 4 o'clock, LeBron and AD aren't playing. But getting back to the Sixers here with Joel Embiid, the NBA opening up an investigation. And good. I'm glad they're doing that because you need to know the truth. If the Sixers knew 3 weeks ago Joel Embiid wasn't going to play, you know when you don't announce it, guys? The day before the home opener. Oh, by the way, Joel and Paul George, they're not going to play. We'll get back with you when we think they might play again. That's wrong for the fan base. It's completely wrong.
100% wrong. Sammy, your thoughts on Joel Embiid?
Yeah, same thing. In reference to, he also said he doesn't want to play back-to-back games. And I like how last year the NBA put a rule in that you have to play a minimum amount of games to be eligible for the awards because, you know, I'm okay with taking a day or two off, right? You know, if you're going to play 79, 80 games, fine. You know what I mean? That's okay to take a couple games off, but playing 65 minimum to be eligible is more than fair. And like you say, you got to be getting paid. The fans are expecting you to play. The ratings are expecting you, you know, to watch. So, you know, as a fan, what is my, influence to watch you other than to watch the superstars that you're paying for? So it's disappointing for sure.
Yeah, exactly. Very, very much so. But you know what's not disappointing so far, guys? Poker. Poker has not been disappointing. We've been seeing some great battles out there on the poker table. We got poker tournament event number 6 coming this Sunday, guys. A lot of great opportunities still left to get your hands on a Tournament of Champions event ticket. We do give out baller coins each and every week for the first and second place winners of the poker tournament. And then there's bounties. And then, of course, the Tournament champions, a lot of baller coins are being handed out right there. So make sure you click on my thread, sign up, and play some poker. But Sammy, let's jump over to you. Tennis, how's the court looking? What do you got for us today?
Yeah, so tennis is finishing up right now. You got 2 men's tournaments in Austria and Switzerland. Tiafoe's playing Berrettini in the 3rd set. You got the women in China and Japan. The men have their last Master Thousands next week in Paris, and then they got their finals in 3 weeks. The women's are in 2 weeks. And then overall, my record, I'm still flirting around 59 units, which has been around that same total for like a month now, but 740 and 606 plus right around 60 units. Can't complain. Got about a month to go, and then we'll have a month off, which is a miserable time for me.
Well, you know what, Sam? Even though there's no tennis, there's plenty of other sports.
Yeah, you know what? There is plenty of other
occupied.
sports, but I do track the sports and I post them, and you can tell by my record. Overall, tennis pays for the other sports. So without tennis, you know, I might not bet as much on the other sports.
Well, you might just have to go out to the street corner and see if you can drum up some business.
Yeah, I'm waiting for JDS to do his screen record so I can watch him on his casino run, so then I can learn and then make as much money he's making at the online casinos. He's killing
There
it.
you go. There you go. Shout out JDS. Great job, and keep the winning ways up for sure. Speaking of winning ways, Donnie, let's jump into some college football. How was your last week, and what do you got this weekend?
Enjoy it, man. I've been loving college football all the way through. Big games left and right. And what I like to do is like not really a side guy anymore, more of a prop guy. Put together like a 2 or 3 leg player prop parlay now that we can bet on college football and the players themselves. It's been fun. This week in college football, not as exciting as the past couple weeks, but certainly some games that you could take a look at. For me, there's 2 games. One is SMU and Duke. That line now sits 11.5 as a favorite on the road for SMU and a total of 48.5 points. Number 1, I think the total's in play, but number 2, that line screams SMU. Oh, Duke just beat Florida State. First time in a million years. Yeah, Florida State's got 1 win. Congratulations. I think they blow them out. And also, bounce back time for me. Alabama, 13.5 against Missouri. They got to run the table and be impressive if they want to make it into the college football playoff. I think they beat Missouri by 2 touchdowns. But for me, this college football season, every single game matters. I'm loving it. I'm watching it. I'm betting it. And I'm having a good time.
Awesome. Thank you, Donnie. Sammy, over to you. You got any college football coming up?
Yeah, overall for me, I am 13-7 or 14-17 on the year in college. So I only bet a few games a week, but again, not too great at it. But watching it from a viewer standpoint is awesome. Alabama down to number 15. When's the last time that's ever happened in the last 20 years? Texas went down, so you got Oregon as the new number 1. I think this is the 3rd or 4th number 1 team in the 9 weeks of the season. And like Donnie said, Alabama has to win out in order to have a chance at the playoff. And their lucky to even be saying that because now this year is the year that it's expanded to 12. But looking at the card, I kind of like Navy at home, plus 13. They're undefeated. It's exciting for them. And, plus 13 is a lot of points against Notre Dame. I do like Miami minus 21 over Florida State. They're 1-6. Preseason top 5. I mean, they stink, and betting against them every week, you're making money. So why not? And then at the marquee matchup, the 7:30 matchup, I like LSU on the road to small underdog against Texas A&M.
All righty. Awesome. Thank you, Donnie. Or thank you, Sammy. Donnie, over to you. Army, Navy, both undefeated. How long did this last?
I love it. And you know what? I don't know how long it lasts because Notre Dame and Navy are going to play, so that's probably going to be a loss. But if you're taking a look at one, if not both, and I know it's a long shot for that to happen, to be undefeated by the time they play the Army-Navy game, that is absolutely sensational. It's been such a crazy season where both of those teams are extremely good, and the way they play football, it's hard to get ready for. You don't see a lot of these veer-shaped rushing attacks anymore at this point, the triple options. I love to see it, but I don't think they're going to be unbeaten when they play each other. But one team unbeaten, one team with one loss, that would be sensational television.
Yes, it would. Sammy, let's jump into your NFL Week 7, little recap of it. How was it?
Yeah, I did pretty horrible. Not only did I go 3-4 as far as the record, but I only scored 7 points. So I didn't win any of my big confidence levels. So you can go 3-4 and still get, maybe 14 points. Or if you're only winning your low confidence, then you're only getting 7. So from a season-long standpoint, not helping myself. But again, we'll say it each and every week. There are weekly prizes. All you got to do is get some glory 1 week, find an 8 or 7-0 matchup and win yourself some money. Shout out to the top 5 last week. You had a 3-way tie or 2-way tie with 4th place, KB Hirsch and Champ with 25 points. You had Stormy and TT Warrior with 27 and Bacardi Artie 7-0, 28 points. Shout out to him on the week. And then overall, the top 5, you got El Nino at 121. Winner, 4th place with 122. Curious with 124. DJP 129. And DH Ristov with 132. So 11-point swing between the top 5 right now, but weekly prizes, so you could always win.
Awesome. Thank you, Sam, and good luck to everyone continuing in that contest. Donnie, how was your Week 7?
Yeah, I'm slipping down right now, and it's unacceptable at this point. Some of these sides really juking me left and right. But as Sammy said, the best part about this is if you can't get into the top 5, let's just say, to get those cash prizes at the end of the year, you can get into the top 5 every single week. So nobody should be down on themselves. I'm not down on myself. I'm only a couple weeks back. I cashed 1 week so far. I'm looking for at least 2 to 3 the rest of the way. So that's the way I'm playing it out. But last week didn't treat me too kindly. This week, hoping to turn it around.
All righty. Awesome. Thank you, Donnie. Sammy, Week 8. What do you got Week 8? What do you got for your 7? And not just with your 7. I mean, what are you going to be betting here?
Yeah, so, looking at it, it looks like a lot of trap lines, a lot of uncertainty, a lot of injuries over the last week, too. You look at Atlanta minus 2.5 over the Bucks. Atlanta's just lost at home versus Seattle, and Seattle's been looking bad. And Atlanta hasn't been looking great, but now they're favorites because there's no Mike Evans and Chris Godwin. Man, that was a gruesome injury by Godwin. I'm sure everyone saw that. Yeah. But you kind of like to take Atlanta minus 2.5 just based on who's Baker going to be able to throw the ball to. I like Detroit minus 11 over the Titans. Detroit, of course, has one of the best teams, one of the best offenses in the league. The Titans, who already have no weapons, got rid of one of their only weapons in DeAndre Hopkins this morning. He just went to Kansas City, who I think that just makes them even better, which makes the Titans even worse. So definitely going to take Detroit minus 11. I like Baltimore minus 9 over Cleveland. Jokes aside, in reference to Deshaun Watson, I think Jameis Winston is just the better quarterback and is going to give that team a better chance to win, but Cleveland is still pretty bad. So I like Baltimore, that high-powered offense. And welcome back, Mark Andrews. Everyone was talking to him out, but Mark Andrews back 2 touchdowns on Monday Night Football. So everyone was talking bad about him in the first month, but he's still one of their top weapons there. And Derrick Henry beasting, the number 1 running back in the league. I like the Bears minus 1.5 over Washington. division. And the big variable on this one is going to be if Jaden Daniels plays. He did not practice today, so that's not looking good for him to play. And assuming that he doesn't play, I'm going to like the Bears. And overall, their run defense is top 10 in the league. I think they sit at 10th. So even if Daniels does play, his running ability is definitely going to be limited. I like Dallas +4 against San Fran. Of course, put the Dallas jokes aside. Is Dallas really that bad? I mean, San Fran is without Ayuk. Debo is questionable. I mean, are the Cowboys really that bad that they're a
I don't think so. I think they'll at least hang in there.
Fran? So, I mean, this is the week that Dallas is either going to prove themselves or are they just going to go like the Jets and just throw their season away? And then lastly, Monday Night Football, Pittsburgh against the Giants. Daniel Jones hasn't scored an offensive touchdown in the Meadowlands in like a year. Apparently, he's just a better road quarterback than a home quarterback, even though they're still a horrible team, but both of their wins have been on the road. But Russell Wilson looked great, QB1 back for Pittsburgh. And I definitely think that Pittsburgh's the better team at home. I'm going to take them over the Giants.
I like it.
Awesome. Thank you, Sammy. Donnie, what do you got for your week 8?
Yeah, Sammy's right. There's a lot of high numbers in this and a lot of moving parts, so make sure you're paying attention here. I'll start with the first moving parts, which are at wide receiver for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I don't care if the Bucs are home. They're getting 2.5 points. Ridiculous. Atlanta, I know, has been struggling, but at least they have a healthy football team moving forward. I don't know who's going to be at wide receiver for Tampa Bay. That's a problem. Give me Atlanta to cover the 2.5. The New York Jets, even though Aaron Rodgers has a bad, hamstring, ankle, knee, head, whatever it is, and he's old, I still think they can beat the New England Patriots by 6.5 points. I'll lay the 7. Sooner than later, they have to play decent football, and this is a layup against a terrible New England team. Also, Miami might be getting Tua Tagovailoa back at quarterback. I don't care. Arizona is going to fight you tooth and nail. That line sits at 3.5. I'll take those 3.5 points. Also, Kansas City gets another wide receiver to try to help out, but it doesn't matter. The focus is how bad the Vegas Raiders actually are now heading on the road, losing Aiden O'Connell, the starting quarterback, back to Gardner Minshew on the road. I think they get beat by double digits, just like the 49ers got beat last week by the Kansas City Chiefs. The Denver Broncos, I'll lay the 8.5 with Carolina. Andy Dalton made that offense somewhat accessible on a week-to-week basis. He gets into a car crash, hurts his thumb, and now looks like Young is going to be the starter this week. He doesn't want to play this year. They're going to get hammered on the road. I'll take Denver by double digits. The Dallas Cowboys, I'm with you, Sammy. It's like I can't quit them at some points, but also coming off of a bye, they were embarrassed. Jerry Jones basically read them the riot act for the past 2 weeks here. Dak just has to have a decent football game. The defense just has to show up. Look at how injured San Francisco is. If Dallas can't hang around within 4.5 points of this 49ers team, just write the season off. It's a wrap. Dallas is done and put them away. And then Monday Night Football, I'm with you. At home, the Pittsburgh Steelers under a touchdown against a brutally bad Giants team. Give me Pittsburgh to win that game by 7 points. Let's go.
All righty, awesome. Thank you both, and good luck to everyone out there on all of your NFL Week 8 action. Good luck on all your wagers across all sports, and we will see you guys on the forum.
See ya.
See ya.